I'm Nancy Huff. I'm president of the Baltimore Unity Hall, Inc. Nonprofit, and also a principal of Somerset Development Company. We're very happy to have you all here. But before we begin, I would like to have Reverend Gray Maggiano of the Memorial Episcopal Church lead us in prayer.
Thanks, Nancy, and thank you all for joining us. Today, we just give thanks. We give thanks that this day is here, that after 4 years, we are able to cut this ribbon and say welcome to the Unity Hall to all of you. Whatever God you believe in, we are grateful for everyone and everything that has made this day possible, and particularly for the relationships that have developed across boundaries and across divisions as this project has come to fruition. So I read from Psalm 133, "Behold, how good and pleasant it is for us to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garments. As the dew of Hermon and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion, for there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Amen."
Thank you, Gray. This is indeed a very special day as we celebrate the opening of the Baltimore Unity Hall and its transformation from an empty, deteriorating building into a center for community arts, education, and training. This building truly represents a community vision and a community effort which has now been realized, and we are all witnesses to that today. This building, while the completion of the reconstruction of the building is now complete, our journey to fulfill our mission to break down barriers, to create a safe space for creativity, cooperation, and to invest in human capital lies ahead of us, and that will be our challenge from today forward. One which will be guided by our new center director, Petula Caesar. We look forward to it. It's really fantastic she's with us. We have many people to thank and many people to recognize who have supported these community efforts. But right now, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague and my good friend, Ashia Parker, who is a woman who wears many hats: president of the MAC board, executive director of No Boundaries, and a member of the Baltimore Unity Hall board. She has been a driving force in the development of Unity Hall's vision and its implementation. Ashia.
Good morning. On the behalf of MAC, No Boundaries Coalition's board, staff, and membership, and the BUH board, I greet you this morning. I would like to give a special thanks to our Mayor, Mayor Scott, Senator Hayes, Delegate Ampry, and Councilman Costello for being here today, and also the support you have given us through this journey. This is a special day. I joined this project over 4 years ago. And the first time I visited the building, I would say it was not as pretty as it is today. But over the time, I have enjoyed the stories of what this building was and what it can be. Today, we begin our tenure as the Baltimore Unity Hall. Today, we continue to serve the residents of 21217, and it's very exciting. Please join us as we march towards the idea of breaking down boundaries and having a place where all races, class, and neighborhoods will work together. Now I would like to recognize our 5 anchor tenants. When I call your organization's name, please stand. No Boundaries Coalition. Thank you. Bond, Building Our Nation's Daughter. the Community Builders, Baltimore Music Box, and Single Carrot Theater. These groups, along with Memorial Episcopal Church and MAC representatives, comprised of the advisory committee of the Baltimore Unity Hall, have all been with us from the beginning to make this dream a reality. Now I ask that the MAC board stand. Marjorie should have stood. Marjorie Richmond, one of the original board members of MAC, who has been instrumental on all of the developments. I'm so grateful for her. Baltimore Unity Hall, Inc. And the BUH Advisory Board, if you could just stand briefly. Yep. All right, well, thank you. Now I have the pleasure of introducing Petula Caesar, who is the founding director of the Baltimore Unity Hall. Petula Caesar has worked in the nonprofit sector for over 2 decades, most recently serving at the Women's Housing Coalition. She is a multi-talented artist and a professional writer. Petula is the Baltimore Unity Hall. Please join me in welcoming to Petula Caesar.
Good morning. Founding director, no pressure. So, I want to thank all of you for being here this morning. I want to thank the folks at Baltimore Unity Hall, Inc. for allowing me to be here this morning as the founding director. I'm not going to talk a whole lot because I can show you better than I can tell you. It is my plan to let my work speak for me here. And it is my great hope that all of you in this room and all of your friends and the friends of your friends and even your enemies that will join us to making this, this project successful. It is really easy to say bad things about Baltimore. It's low-hanging fruit. It's not impressive at all. It is much more difficult to do positive things, to do things that uplift the community. It is much harder work, and oftentimes it is work done that no one actually sees. So it's nice to have a place like this where you can see good things happening. One of the most difficult things to achieve is actually in the name of this building, unity. It's hard. It's so easy to be a part. It is so easy to dehumanize folks you don't know. It's just, it's not a challenge. And I like challenges, which is why I'm here today. I am looking forward to bringing life into this place. I am looking forward to bringing individuals and groups and communities into this place. I am looking forward to people coming in here and planning their revolutions in this place. I am looking forward to people coming and having a good time, planning important work, seeing exhibits in the exhibit space like the amazing one that's out there today. I hope you check it out. I am looking forward very much to just seeing this place become a good neighbor to 21217 and to Baltimore in general. This is not going to be easy, but good things typically are not easy, and that's fine. So I'll be around all day, and I'll definitely be here for a while. Please feel free to come up, introduce yourself. I may not remember your name the first time, but I promise at some point I'll get it. I have business cards. We're going to be doing tours of the space after we cut the ribbon. Please stay around for that, and we have refreshments. So we're really trying to make you feel at home here so that you'll find reasons to come back. So thank you very much for your attention, and I'm looking forward to talking to all of you.
Now I have the honor of introducing our distinguished guest. Our first speaker is our mayor, Mayor Brandon M. Scott. I always say it publicly, and I'll say it again today. I'm proud of you, Mayor Scott. Running the city of Baltimore is not easy. You do it with grace. You do it with dignity. and you keep working and fighting every day. And we thank you, and I personally thank you for supporting me and my projects and everything that we're doing as well. So without further ado, Mayor Brandon M. Scott.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Ashia. Ashia always gives the best introductions because she doesn't do bio, which is always the best thing for me. And Ashia, this is the easiest job I've ever had. I don't know about you, but that's the way I see it. This is a great day for Baltimore. It's a great day to celebrate positivity and progress, the opening of an incredible asset right here in Central West Baltimore. I want to start off by recognizing my colleagues in government. We have been joined today by Antonio Hayes Jr. and this guy known as his father, Senator Antonio Hayes. Delegate Ampry is with us, and Councilman Costello. Let's give them a round of applause. Councilman Costello was the person who introduced me into this fabulous project, so thank you for that, Mr. Councilman. I also want to thank Nancy, Jim, everybody that's been involved with Shia, Reverend, everybody that's been involved with this project from the forefront, and most importantly, all of you, the community members who I'm sure are eager to take advantage of this new space, especially because how long we've been working on this project. I also want to thank the Memorial Apartments Corporation, Somerset Development, Southway Builders, Zigger Sneed for helping to make this day possible. This building, as we all know, was in complete disrepair, a blight on the neighborhood, sitting as an eyesore right along the main corridor. And you all took the initiative and turned what was a liability into an incredible asset for this community. And despite facing challenge linked to historic segregation, structural racism, redlining, community disinvestment, blight, and crime, this community continues to come together, to unite, and rise up each and every day. And today, we are continuing the process of reversing years of inequity, redlining, and instead creating a vital resource for community empowerment that revolves around the needs and desires of our residents. We must continue, as you heard, after today, to be intentional and work with urgency to reverse the long-standing disinvestment in our communities. Instead of dividing lines, we are creating spaces that will bridge our neighbors and drive our city forward in the right direction. And I can assure you that our residents will make the most of this opportunity. I'm expecting this Unity Hall to be full of people consistently who want to unite together to make Baltimore the best Baltimore that it can be. The new and improved Unity Hall will unite neighbors throughout Central West Baltimore, from Bolton Hill to Druid Heights and everything in between, to provide a space for community meetings, art exhibits, music performance, and other cultural events, as well as programming for job training, outreach, and education. This is about connecting residents in the surrounding neighborhoods with much needed social, cultural, and professional opportunities. This development is consistent with my vision for what we know as equitable neighborhood development and helping to effectively rebuild our neighborhoods, investing in those that have been historically disinvested in. And this is how we will reach the potential of our neighborhoods to operationalize the renaissance of Charm City. Baltimore is both the historic and current home of a rich cultural heritage, creative spirit, and unwavering sense of community unlike anywhere else. This project is a great example of this. I hope it will inspire further investment and support for our arts community by building an environment that centers our vibrant artistic culture and community-based organizations. We expect to bring residents together to create memories and tradition, to foster compassion, understanding, and community building right here in Central West Baltimore. Personally, I am extremely proud of how far we have come and excited to see how far we go. That's the truth of the matter today. Today is just the beginning of how we can go and be our best. Because once you had the best, better isn't as good. So thank you all for being here today. And I'd like to turn it over to my good friend who's going to take a break from daddy duty from 1 second to come up here. Senator Antonio Hayes, Sr.
Good morning. Good morning. It's awesome to be here. The mayor's already established political protocol, but there's a couple of people that I wanted to recognize really quickly. I do see former Councilman Leon Piquant back there, who's doing great things here in the city of Baltimore. Also, I belong to one of the greatest fraternities in the world, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. I see our POMARC of the Baltimore Alumni Chapter celebrating over 100 years here in Baltimore City. POMARC Greg Sims in the back. And then one of the things that we do as legislators, we have an opportunity to introduce bond bills, and our contribution from the state level, both Delegate Ampry and I, contribution to this was through a legislative bond initiative. After we do the work and introduce it, there's a lot of hard work on the back end to make sure that the recipients get the funds that they deserve. And one of those organizations that do most of the heavy lifting and have to justify to the Board of Public Works, who do an awesome job and then often not recognized, is the Department of General Services. And I was surprised to see here today the Deputy Secretary for the Maryland Department of General Services, Deputy Nelson in the back there. So in Annapolis, we deal with a lot of heavy policy issues, and especially when we look around our country and we see so many threats to democracy, or we look at the Supreme Court and see that the role that states have to provide, sometimes it's a very heavy burden that causes a lot of tankerous dialogue. But one of the things that we do have a chance to do as legislators is partner with community-based organizations that are on the ground, empowering our communities and creating opportunities for those who would not otherwise have it through the legislative bond bill process. And so myself and Delegate Ampry are proud to be here today and support the vision of all of these organizations coming together under one roof in this zip code to make sure that they empower all of the communities around them. We were here at the groundbreaking, and we're happy to celebrate the ribbon cutting today. We look forward to what is to come. Madam Director, we are here to support you in any way that we can as we move forward. Thank you all for the opportunity to participate in today.
Thank you, Senator. I wanted to say before you came up that Senator Hayes really works hard in the 40th District, and it is his vision to revitalize and make the 40th District what we know it can be. And I tell people, my friend Shannon will tell you, I always say if Antonio can really pull off that North Avenue thing, that would cement his legacy for decades, centuries to come. So I wish him luck on that. And thank you, Senator, for all of your support. I want to bring up Delegate Ampry. So Delegate Ampry, when we first met him, he was just ready to go and learn about 21217 and all that No Boundaries does. When this project came along, he was ready to jump right in with any support he could offer in his capacity within the state. Delegate Ampry.
Thank you so much. This is a really special ribbon cutting because when I first became a delegate, this was actually the first opportunity that I had to meet with the community and see what the vision was for something where I could possibly support. The Reverend brought me here. The building didn't look like this at all, but they spoke so highly of what the future and vision could be. And I was excited about renovating. I renovated my own home, so I watch HGTV way too much. So I really love the renovation process. They make it look way easier on TV, y'all. You do not want to, if you can buy it already fixed up, buy it already fixed up. But what got me the most excited about the opportunity to be involved with this project wasn't how great the building was going to look or how shiny it was going to be. It was about how we were going to be able to invest in the people in the community. And when we introduced the primary tenants, you saw a reflection of the community, right? You saw people of color, you saw women who are leaders in our community that we have to continue to empower and give them opportunities to lead and take our community to the next step. So that was what got me the most excited about this project. At the groundbreaking, as I said, and I always believe, and it's the foundation of how I operate as a legislator, is we have to invest in individuals as much as we invest in infrastructure. If we only invest in just infrastructure, what happens is we see what happens across our country. We end up pushing legacy residents out, and we don't actually uplift our community in the way that we should. And I think what's going to set this project apart from others is that we're going to uplift the community in a really new way. I'm excited about what it's going to mean for this community directly, but I'm also excited for what this is going to be as a blueprint on how the rest of Baltimore can take on projects and do things in which we actually invest in people and invest in the actual infrastructure. So I'm just so excited about this. It was a really hard process. The senator is correct as far as at one point, the money wasn't there for this, and I was like, Senator Hayes, how do I get this money back? And I was ripping and running and talking to everyone who had the power to make it happen, and we were able to pull it off. So, this is a really special, this will be my first ribbon cutting where I can say that I was there when the building was in disarray, and now I'm here as it is totally refinished. So I'm happy to be here, and as the senator said, we are happy to be a partner, and we can help in any way moving forward. Please don't hesitate to reach out. Just really excited for what this means for West Baltimore and what this means for this community. Thank you so much.
Now we will have Councilman Costello. Councilman Costello is definitely a bridge builder, a problem solver, the person who was in the background to make sure things are going smoothly when things do not go smoothly for his constituents in the 11th District, and we thank you tremendously for that. Councilman Costello.
Good morning, everyone. I have this just huge grin on my face because I don't remember the last time I experienced this much joy about a community project. Mr. Mayor, Delegate, Senator, as-built, water bills, permits, inspections, more inspections, right of entry, more permits, even more inspections. But if there was a project that ever made more sense that was going to get through all of this, it was this, Unity Hall. There are a ton of people to thank today. Willie, it's great to see you and the team from Southway. Nancy, you and your team at Somerset continue to invest in our city, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate it. Ashia, you, and so many other leaders from Central West Baltimore, Pastor Gray. So I'm not really going to thank anyone else, but there's a million other people here to thank today. But really what I want to say is congratulations. Congratulations to the communities of Upton, Bolton Hill, Madison Park, Marble Hill, Druid Heights, Sandtown, Pedestal Gardens. This is for you, and you all deserve this. And thank you so much for hanging along for the ride. And I'm truly excited to see what's to come. And Madam Executive Director, here to help in any way we can and support all the great things you're going to do here. Thank you.
All right, it's shameless plug time. So let me take you on a journey. So over 15 years ago, there was a MICA student who had to complete a project to get her degree. In MICA, they do like art advocacy and it's different art projects. So she decided to do a block party that would be in the median of right in front of here on Utah Place. And it would serve as a party that would bring both residents from both segregating lines to meet each other, to talk, and to just gather, because that typically did not happen, or in some cases still does not happen in 21217. After that party, she stayed in Baltimore, and she continued to work and volunteer in Bolton Hill, and they did the party again. So they did the party 3 more times. And the 7 community leaders that live in this area, 21217, decided that, hey, maybe we should do something where it could be an organization that would kind of serve everyone. Because we all know community politics. Sometimes I don't want to go to this community event because I don't like how they do it, but I like how they do it. So we said, let's come together and make just one thing. That was the birth of No Boundaries Coalition. So in 2013, we became a nonprofit. We had a part-time free employee. Today, I'm proud to report that we have 9 employees on our staff. We are a full organization, and we are ready to roll and work harder than we ever done before. So tomorrow, I am inviting all of you to join us for our 15th annual block party that will be right in the median, right in front of this building from 12 to 4. It'll have free food, entertainment, a number of activities for the entire family, and we hope to see you there. So I'm going to introduce our last speaker of the day, Mr. Jim Campbell. He is the principal of Somerset and a BUH board member.
Good morning, everybody. I am going to thank all the people that are critical to having actually achieved this tremendous transformation. I wish we had a before and after display of this building a year ago and today. It is truly remarkable, and it doesn't happen without a true team. Everybody knows the phrase, it takes a village. Well, it takes a village, it takes an entire team to make this happen, and I'm going to thank so many people. But first, to describe what is here, Petula invited people to go on a tour afterwards, and please do that because there are wonderful spaces throughout the building on the second floor, this floor. But a quick tour, in addition to this beautiful auditorium, which we hope is going to be a venue for community meetings, community theater, community music, all kinds of events that bring people from the neighborhood and the city as a whole to here. The gallery, and there's a wonderful first exhibit in the gallery, Division and Unity in Central West Baltimore, that tells the story of the segregation of the past and the division, and hopefully presents the story of the future and the unity that can be brought. And then there's offices, No Boundaries offices and program space on the first floor, and there will be refreshments in that space after the ribbon cutting, and everybody's invited to go there. And throughout the building, there are offices and programs for the various community nonprofit partners. On the second floor, there is a co-working space and a lounge where we want residents from the community to have a place where they can come and work in a co-working, comfortable, safe location. There are artist studios that can be rented up there. On the lower level, there are event spaces. There are for everything from weddings for people in the community to training sessions. There's a catering kitchen that we are talking with several prospective catering and event people who would also have a job training component to that, and beautiful spaces for all kinds of events. So we, again, invite you to take the full tour. We're virtually finished. There's a few things, as you can see, the sound system here. There's going to be some dramatic sunshades on the facade of the building that, because of the disruptions in the construction, the delays that nobody could do anything about, but we're there and all the space is usable, and we're just thrilled to be here. To get here, we had to have a design team who could take a look at that building that existed, that was vacant, run down, the infrastructure, the systems were all useless, and figure out how to turn it into this beautiful building that we have today. And so I want to thank the architect and their team, Zigger Sneed, particularly Ann Powell, Kelly Dance, Doug Bothner. They did an extraordinary job figuring out the complicated. Rehab is a tough thing to design compared to new construction, and they did a remarkable job. And then to build rehab, it's difficult enough, and it's more difficult, again, than new construction. But Southway Builders, and Willie Moore is here. We want to thank you so much for being here, and your team, with a special shout out to Everett Jackson, who is here from the day one to this morning, still sort of putting finishing touches on things. Rehab is incredibly challenging and difficult with the supply constraints and COVID and workloads. This has been, and these spikes in costs. I think when we started Lumber tripled in cost, steel tripled in cost, plummeted back down, went back up. I mean, just to maneuver that has been a true challenge, and they did a fabulous job delivering where we are today. I want to thank the folks who helped us finance and fund this because we couldn't hire the architects and we couldn't hire the contractor if we didn't have the money to do it. So the Reinvestment Fund, Mike Pokorny were our primary lender. The People's Bank provided a bridge loan to help get us there and help bridge some of the funding, like the funding that we are getting from the state through Senator Hayes and Delegate Ampry, and through the Department of General Services and Nelson Reichart, who is here, and we're very happy to have him here from down the street, and hopefully a future user of this space for different kinds of meetings. Want to thank the Franz Marek Foundation, who are helping us fund the solar installation on the roof so that the building can be both environmentally sustainable but also economically sustainable, as that defrays utility costs. Want to thank T. Rowe Price Foundation, who will be providing help for our operating over the next few years. And also the legal team. This is all interesting, challenging organizational structures and financing that it took a real solid team. Gallagher, Avelius and Jones, Mark Keener, and Saul Gilstein. I want to thank you guys very much for the great work you did. Jonathan Ackerman, who helped put together the nonprofit status for the Baltimore Unity Hall Board, and Bob Fila, who's the general counsel for Memorial Apartments Corporation, who we wouldn't be here without his help and support along the way. Our management and leasing team, Mark Bradshaw at KLMB, who's going to be making sure everything from the toilets get fixed to the rent gets collected and has been tremendously helpful in helping us set up the organizational structure here. Jack Taylor and Lawrence Oster with CBRE, who are helping us find a operator for the kitchen and event spaces on the ground floor. We appreciate their work. But then from my standpoint, our team at Somerset, who worked day and night to try to make this happen. Somerset had a development agreement with Memorial Apartments Corporation to carry out the actual work. Everybody has a other full-time job, but they still put the time, effort into making this happen. Jake Stern in particular, Rachel Helfer, John Anagonio, Tom Reardon. I want to shout out to them in particular, but also Michael Castanola, Anya Kamara, James Ruffing. Everybody pulled together to get us to here today. And then Ziad Malouf, there are refreshments from Tilted Row and Cafe Feely in the No Boundary space. You're welcome to go there. They are delicious. I sampled them before we got here. And so anyway, we could not have done it without the work of all those people and many, 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 many more. So I just want to give an applause to all of those folks. Thank you so much. And again, invite you to go on the tour and help. We will be cutting the ribbon here in a few minutes. And Reverend Gray, if you would like to come up and do the benediction.
Thanks again, all. Councilman, I do have a zoning issue to talk with you about later. Before we close, I want to say thanks in particular to Somerset Development, to Jim and Nancy and Jake for taking a chance on this neighborhood and for believing in this project. I also want to take a moment to recognize our newest tenant, Charm Voices of Baltimore Youth. Charm is a program that works in, you can stand up, Whitney, that works in Baltimore City schools and training young poets and writers, and they're just do amazing work. As we were touring people through the building the last few days, someone stopped me and said, West Baltimore deserves this. And I think that's true. There are a lot of needs in this community, and we talk maybe too much about the needs in West Baltimore. But what this place craves more than anything is community. Safe places to gather, to celebrate, to communicate, to share, to be together. And that is what this place is, a place that this community deserves. And so we are grateful to be able to share this place with you all today. While you are here, please do take a moment to check out the exhibition in our gallery space called Division and Unity. This is curated by Nanny Jack and Company. Philip, where are you guys? Philip Merrill and Betty Merrill and Veronica Carr. If they're not in here, they may be out in there. But please do go and visit the exhibit. When we put this together, I, with my white gaze, said that this was the story of moving from division to unity. And it was quickly pointed out to me that that's not the case at all, that one side was very interested in division for a long time. I'm pointing in the right direction, right? Okay. And the other side was working on resilience and unity the whole time, and we just had to come along. And so the exhibit in there tells that story and talks about both those efforts of resilience. There's Philip. Both those efforts of resilience, and also those little moments of unity that have existed throughout the history. And so please do take a moment to visit the exhibit, to check out the plaques and signs and everything else. So let us pray. Let us go forth into the world in peace and dedicated to your service, O Lord. Let us hold fast that which is good, render to no one evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted, support the weak, help the needy and the afflicted, and lift up the lowly. Let us love and serve the Lord, rejoicing in the power of his Spirit, and may God's blessing be upon us and remain with us always. Amen. Amen.